Today we got to talk about the Dallas Cowboys 40-39 win against the Atlanta Falcons. And all that's coming up after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You got to help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today, we got to talk about the world's greatest joke artist, the Atlanta Falcons. Because this has been an interesting day in week 2 of the NFL. We've already seen significant injuries. One to Nick Bosa of the 49ers, who seems to be out with a torn ACL. Saquon Barkley also went down today against the Chicago Bears. We look around the league and we're seeing some of the best players in it probably needed that preseason to get some of this worked out and perhaps to fend off injury. And then we look at my Dallas Cowboys, your Dallas Cowboys. I watch the Dallas Cowboys not unlike the reason for which I watch Big 12 football, which is to find out how they're going to embarrass me today. So I was not shocked at all to watch the Dallas Cowboys go down 26-9 to the Atlanta Falcons at home. Watching Matt Ryan do what Matt Ryan does with a backfield that included Todd Gurley and wide receivers that include Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, and resurrected Russell Gage, to say nothing of Hayden Hurst, out there just making it happen. And this Mike Nolan defense is getting destroyed, absolutely positively destroyed. And then in the third quarter, we look up and Dak Prescott is still back there doing Dak Prescott things, for which I make the observation. For the folks that do not believe in Dak Prescott, the Dak Prescott experience is this game, and it encapsulates so much of what the conversation is around him as a quarterback. Because in 2018, the haters would say Dak Prescott had the best offensive line in football, that's why he was good. In 2020, he has Joe Looney and sock puppets on the offensive line, including tackles with 2 left feet. Okay, so he naturally is getting destroyed, and he has a fumble in the first half. Then you look up in the fourth quarter, he's got over 400 yards passing. He has gotten something out of Dalton Schultz. CeeDee Lamb's out there doing his job. Amari Cooper's doing his job. Michael Gallup's doing his job. Zeke Elliott hasn't really been heard from since he got his contract extension last year. And the Dallas Cowboys defense has squandered opportunities to pick up turnovers. I will not let that one go where Trayvon Diggs had the football go right through his breadbasket in what would have been a play that changed the game. And when it seemed like Dallas had an opportunity to make this a one-score game, we got Mike McCarthy in all of his wisdom deciding to go for 2 when 1 point would have done the job of getting you a one-possession game. They failed that. So they get in this position where Dak Prescott once again gets them in a position to score. He has 4 touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown, over 400 yards, 500 yards they put up in this game. And then we get to the inevitable onside kick, which has become anticlimactic because the rules have made it such that you can't get a running start. The ball has to travel 10 yards. It's basically just made for the return team to be able to pick this ball up and close this game out. And then an inexplicable thing happened. A thing that boggles the mind. A thing that sent me spinning from my couch to go, what? The Atlanta Falcons let the ball roll for 10 yards like it was illegal for them to touch it. And oh my God, these are some of the best football players in the world. We're all doomed because if they don't know these rules and they can't get this right, what does it say about the regular folks like you and me? Because we're certainly screaming from our couches, what are they doing? To which the Dallas Cowboys just jump on the football. And then we get Dak Prescott, Zeke Elliott back at the line of scrimmage, and Greg Zuerlein is able to connect on a field goal that gives Dallas the 1-point win. Mike McCarthy goes into his press conference and he says that failed 2-point conversion was chess, not checkers. I will respect this bold-faced lie. I'm also here for the Keystone Copsing of the Dallas Cowboys because, as I said, I don't expect this team to win a Super Bowl anymore. I did at the start of the season. This year, I'm just going to watch for see how they can further embarrass me. But that's not what they did. They embarrassed me plenty. But if you are an Atlanta Falcons fan, if your drug of choice is still the Dirty Birds, how must you feel today? Have you set your jersey on fire? Please let me know in the comments below, because we all thought about how the Atlanta Falcons blew a 28-point lead against the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. It will be a defining game for Matt Ryan and that Falcons regime forever. And then to watch them squander a 20-plus point lead against the Dallas Cowboys, and the way in which they squandered it, with the weapons that they had at their disposal, and the way that their front seven was having their way with the Dallas Cowboys offensive line, you can only ascertain from this that they suck at football, but they don't suck at football. Perhaps Dan Quinn just, forgot to inform his hands team about the most important rules of football, which is to say, get your hands on the football. They refuse to get their hands on the football. And now we got an Atlanta Falcons team that does not deserve to be 0 for 2. That is 0 for 2. And we got a Dallas Cowboys team that does not deserve to be 1-1, but is 1-1. But as you look at the box score, it will tell you some things, and you'll figure out how this game went, and going to look at the drive chart will tell you something. But what I am still amazed by is how crappy this coaching staff turns out to be. Because I thought the worst thing that ever happened to the Dallas Cowboys in my lifetime is Jason Garrett became the head coach. No, not at all. When Mike McCarthy came in, he decided to keep Kellen Moore and keep the offense and keep the language to give Dak Prescott the best opportunity to go out there and win football games. I'm going, great. That means Mike McCarthy's going to be worried about the head coaching stuff, like clock management, like points. But it seems that football coaches get to be stupid as soon as they hit the sideline, because inexplicably, they start to argue with Sir Isaac Newton. And they say that he's wrong. They seem to believe that time is not, in fact, relative, and that 3 points is always better than 6. Because that's the only explanation I can come up with for how these coaches have gone about actually strategizing winning football games. Because they can put all these exotic packages in. They can come up with all these different ways to disguise what they want to do with the football, or what they want to do against the football if you're on defense. And yet they cannot remember that perhaps the 2-point play is not the one we should go with when 1 point gets us into, tying the ball game. Sometimes I want to jump inside the mind of an NFL head coach, and other days I prefer my sanity. Today is not one of those days where I want to jump inside the mind of one Mike McCarthy, or Dan Quinn for that matter, to know nothing of how Atlanta must be trying to find out where he lives so they could put for sale signs there. And Arthur Blank is going to have to fend off, a mob coming to Mercedes-Benz Stadium at a time when nobody is supposed to be congregating to do much of anything. So in front of this raucous crowd of hundreds, we got perhaps the NFL's best game of the week, and might be the best game of the entire year. Golly. Deuces.